Hey, yo, bro, what's up, man? Let's talk about the process of creation.
Beh, man.
For sure, bro.
Hello everybody, Leonardo Space Pianist here. Today I'm here with a friend, with Javier from Panama. He's a musician and a high-level Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighter. How are you?
Hello, Leonardo. Thank you for having me.
You are welcome. Javier is here in Malta since now a couple of weeks.
Yeah, since the 30th, 2 weeks and a half.
Okay, and we met on the mat while he was killing me with arm bars, chokes and so on. And we discovered that we have a lot of topics in common about music, about philosophy, and we were having a chat about the creative process, the process of creation. So I was thinking, why not to invite him in one of my vlogs and see a little bit his point of view, and to know how he connects this with his life experience and also with practicing at a high level martial art like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So do you want to introduce a little bit more yourself before we jump to our topic?
Yes, of course. Well, my name is Javier Smith, and I'm originally from Panama. I've been living in Europe for the last 3 years and a half, and I'm a Jiu-Jitsu brown belt under Cicero Costa. And that's the reason I'm in Malta. I'm visiting the Cicero Costa team here in Malta. I'm also a software engineer. I had my own company back in Panama doing software for a lot of the companies and also inside the Panama Canal companies. And now I had the opportunity to work for the European Parliament, and I'm also working for the European Patent Office in Rotterdam now as a self-employed in front-end technologies, and also doing Jiu-Jitsu everywhere I go, visiting the academies, visiting the instructors, learning from different professors around Europe. And now I'm staying more in connection with the Cicero Costa team, and Thomas from the team here in Malta, that is also from Belgium, where I'm located at the moment. And yes, I'm very happy to be here in the Mediterranean Sea.
And so from the Caribbean Sea
from the Caribbean now to the Mediterranean Sea.
A smaller sea. So as you see, also he has a lot of interests, a lot of passions, and I think this also helped a lot to connect and to arrive at some points. Who is following the channel knows that in my videos I already touched the topics near the creative process. Who knows me knows how much important is discipline, how is important motivation. And now we already spoke a lot, but this is an opportunity to share also with who is watching your point of view about the creative process. And basically, what is for you art?
Well, it's very interesting because I'm in the process of writing a book called Inner Faith and the Ticket to Freedom, and one of the main chapters is called The Process of Creation, where where basically explains why the idea it's what makes us human unique and in the universe, and how the idea is connect us with the center of the universe, and there is an information that comes from the center to the universe to us, and that's why humans have developed so much technologies and so much tools to expand our society and our knowledge about everything, even the understanding of the universe or the understanding of physics, etc., etc., etc. And all these developments and creations go through a process that I call the process of creation, that in the book I explains why the idea it's very sacred, it's very unique, but at the same time we cannot let the idea stays in our mind. We need to develop the idea and bring the idea into the physical world, because the ideas are not unique or owned by anybody. I believe that the ideas comes to a lot of people at the same time. For example, when the computer was being built, it was not only one person with the idea. There was a competition of different people trying to build a computer, who was going to be the first one and who was going to be the best. The moment that the product is in the real world is when actually becomes yours, and it's something real, and it's something that is going to help or is going to expand something in society, or it's going to do something. It might be good or it might be bad, but it's now real. And in the process of creation, it explains how the idea is actually the only thing in the universe that emanates, because matter cannot be created or destroyed. It can only be modified. But the idea, it just appears in your mind, and from there is a process that is first is the planning. That once you get the idea, then you need to plan what are gonna be the actions required to create your product. Because from the idea, now you have to create a product. It might be a song, it might be jiu-jitsu, it might be a software, it might be whatever. It might be a building, it might be architectural design,
anything.
Anything.
A lifetime process.
It's a lifetime process, and also it's a muscle, because not only because you have an idea, that is the first thing you have to build and dedicate your life to that, because also the art of how much the idea you need to get from the information also requires training, because there's very different kind of people, and a lot of people are very talented and they might get the best idea from the beginning, and people like me requires a lot of time and a lot of mistakes and a lot of discipline.
Yes.
And never give up, for example, the cliche things to say, but they are real, and eventually maybe you still don't have the idea, but the process leads me to bigger things than myself, and eventually the idea might come, and then you bring it into society. But
and I think that I mentioned a little bit is that when you create something, you are giving something in the outer world that is a gift. And in my opinion, I am a space pianist, so I am a scientist, but what art can give to improve a society is priceless. That goes far beyond just the artwork itself.
Art is what comes from the idea. I believe that we need the art. For example, philosophy is one of the arts, and thanks to philosophy, we have achieved more equality and rights and human rights in general in the world, because people have thought deeply and analyzed society in a way that they have written things, and people have fought for this, and so now we are here sharing information very internationally with different cultures, things that maybe 70 or 80 years ago was completely impossible.
And to me, surprises a lot how much people neglect philosophy, because it's like a white fly, no?
Yes.
Having also the humility of read
Yes.
what was created by important philosopher, to go into philosophy in our daily life that is very consumistic. It is really target oriented, so we lose a lot of the philosophy.
Yes.
It's something also weird sometimes when you speak to me. At least this is what happened to me in some cases.
I one of the eras of human that I really like is the Renaissance era in Italy, with Leonardo da Vinci and these big thinkers. That before these times, that's why it's called the Renaissance time, because before this time it was the Renaissance of the human being, because the mind became unique for the first time in human history. Before this time, people will just follow the steps of their descendants and of their previous. So if you will be a shoemaker, you will be if your father will be a shoemaker, you will be a shoemaker, because that was the limit of the human mind.
It was also a way to control society.
And people, they had trouble. That was the limit back then of the philosophy of the rights. So people, they will just follow that, and then in Italy, the people start expanding their mind, started doing art, and everybody became unique because they realized that they could be whoever they wanted, expressing themselves in different ways, that they were not attached to whatever the system would say. And from there, people start creating different stuff. And Leonardo da Vinci was one of the biggest figures.
I'm inspiring a lot. Leonardo da Vinci, thanks to the name that my parents gave me, it's true. And I wanted to say that about this subject, the concept of a universal man, of a man dedicated to philosophy,
Yes.
Science and art, basically
Yes.
both, that is also a legacy derived from
a
Greek.
map maker.
Or the
He
Greek.
used to be a map maker.
Yes, he was doing really a lot of stuff, but the concept of a universal man today is really forgotten somehow,
Yes.
because we are really focused like on a small, very small backyard.
Devices.
So yeah, and also that. So when I am proud to say I'm a space pianist, I'm proud of that. Also because there is a science and art, and there's also a message I try to give also for you. There is a science and art.
Yes.
And for me, it's super important freediving. In martial arts, my experience is very small. But
me, it's the jiu-jitsu.
in his case, you have also the martial aspect, so the art for the body.
Yes.
That on that side is really developed. So
Yes.
it's an intertwining of
Yes.
a lot of
Yes.
of things. So now we are giving a lot of inputs to who is watching this video. I would like to do the last part, just having some reflections of how the practice of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, of a martial art at high level, is reflecting in your approach to music, because here we talk a lot about music, of course, and to the creative process in general.
Jiu-jitsu, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for almost 10 years now, and since the day one I didn't stop. It became a knowledge that I needed to have, because at the beginning you are not good, but you see the people what they can do to you, and with a complete gentle way, even a person that is smaller and weaker, they can just move and you become their marionette. But this is only what you see. Also, when you try the jiu-jitsu, you start understanding how your brain connects with your body, and how it feels to move in a way to achieve something, and jiu-jitsu gives you that opportunity, and eventually you start to express yourself, and you start to achieve goals during jiu-jitsu. For example, when you achieve certain positions, or you win a fight, for example, your brain immediately tells you what required to achieve that, and because you did a certain amount of steps, and most of the time it's not what you did in the training, but what you did after and before the training, like the recovery, the be relaxed, have a very good discipline, and the diet. So eventually this becomes a necessity for you, because you want to improve in jiu-jitsu. So what you see to what you feel is completely different, and also because you are trying to do stuff that not all the time happens, but other things happen. So the way it looks, it's completely different, and eventually with the jiu-jitsu you start becoming good, and you see how your level of experience is different from a beginner, and how your body and how you actually are expressing your body in a way, and you achieve these goals that actually looks at some point impossible, and now it's your daily routine, and at the same time you're learning this spiritual aspect of jiu-jitsu, of how your goals and your determination and your discipline leads you to success, and how the success is actually achievable and visible, and you can feel it, and it's right there. And jiu-jitsu is not a joke. How you win in jiu-jitsu it will put a person to sleep, it can break a limb, etc., etc. So it's actually not a joke, but you have this knowledge, and the way you do it is so friendly that it takes the the violent part away, and it's just a dance, and you find technical ways to move, and that's why jiu-jitsu, a weaker person and smaller person can do amazing stuff, because it's very technical. And at the end of the day, you're learning how to fight. So jiu-jitsu gives you a currency, a very big currency. Also, you see how kids love jiu-jitsu, and it becomes a game for them, and at the same time they have a lot of discipline. And so yeah, at the end of the day, jiu-jitsu also gives you the confidence to trust yourself and do other stuff, and then you can connect this to the process of creation.
Okay.
Because your ideas, now you have the discipline and the confidence to trust that your ideas needs to be done.
There are a lot of points in common also with freediving, where I'm more experienced, at least in freediving, than him in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Basically, he's a potentially a killer, but with a smile.
I consider more myself a dancer.
I'm joking.
But yes, it's jiu-jitsu.
No. I'm joking, by the way. It's a very interesting insight, and I hope this is opening a lot of also questions. If you have questions, leave comments here down below. I will put the link to his Instagram, so if you want to contact him, feel free. He will be more than happy to get in touch and to know your point of views. And who knows if we were triggering someone, if someone is feeling uncomfortable. This is also an interesting result. So thank you very much, Javier, for your time and for sharing with you your experience.
My pleasure.
So if you liked this video, hit the like button and consider to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Otherwise, I will send him to do probably an arm lock or a triangle. We will see. And see you to the next episode.
Soon after.